Hey everybody, welcome back. So this is the pilot project. So basically what that means is I'm on the hunt for a new show, and that doesn't necessarily mean we'll do a full series on whatever I post a reaction to. It's just that I'm going through my list of shows as seen in the first episode of Dark. The first Dark reaction I put here. I'm just going through just to see what kind of sticks, what people are interested in. This, I think it kind of, hopefully it doesn't become too much where well, the idea behind the whole project is looking for a new show by giving every other show a chance. So Dark will remain our main show for the time being. Right now, in the secondary show was The Boys. It's not performing as well as I thought it was going to perform, but maybe that's just because there's only one episode posted, and I'll check it out after a few more episodes in. But the pilot project itself is just a series of pilots I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be checking out a bunch of pilots to shows, just to basically kind of see if I'm going to be into it. If I like the pilot will remain on the list. If the pilot doesn't really catch me, if it's like, it's not for me, show gets crossed off the list, and we'll just go on. Now, in order for me to continue on with the show, I kind of want to have it set where after a certain amount of views, I'll go on to episode 2, and then the same thing before going on to episode 3, etc., etc. But the idea behind this is just basically to try to find a new show to watch alongside Dark, alongside The Boys, if it could pick up some steam, because otherwise The Boys can just get pushed to the back, and we'll continue on with the pilot project and see what happens here. I did like The Boys. I am intrigued that I never really got into Gotham, since I do like Batman. And I guess it's just because it's a Fox show, I kind of didn't really expect much, but people say the show is good, and I'm always willing to check out a new Batman project. So that being said, I am interested in hopping into this. No idea what to expect. I assume Batman's really young. I don't know how a TV show for Batman will work if it's not like designed like Smallville, where you have a young Bruce Wayne. It's kind of like a young Clark Kent, just fight off random goons. But will you have the big villains come in when he's such a young guy, not even in the costume yet? I don't know. I know Smallville was creative because they put a roadblock. They didn't want to just automatically just jump right into him in the suit. They didn't want to jump right into him flying, so they kind of built that up. Because people want to see Superman in the suit. They want to see him fly. And if they were just to do that every time, wouldn't be special, so I get that. I'm just kind of intrigued on where they take a Batman show. So I think that's enough talking for now. I'm just going to hop in and see what happens. Hopefully this picks up enough steam so I can go on to episode 2 if you guys want. Otherwise, the next pilot I might watch, I don't know. I mean, there's a bunch of shows on here I'm pretty interested. I could go with The Umbrella Academy. I could go with The Witcher, Ozark, Money Heist, The Mist. I mean, there's a bunch of shows on here. The 100, Punisher. I mean, yeah, so who knows? So I'm going to leave it like that. We're just going to hop right into Gotham, and we'll talk about it after this. Alright guys, Pilot Project Episode 1, Gotham. Catwoman, I'm assuming. So is she young too? She looks like a little kid. Oh, I was about to say, it's like, did she steal milk just because she's Catwoman? A little on the nose.
Give me your money. No problem. Easy.
You ever danced with the devil in pale moonlight? I remember that moment in Tim Burton's Batman.
There's some pills. Here's some pills for you. These aren't my pills.
That was insanely dangerous, but good job. Gordon is the good cop, naturally. It's okay, this might be fun. It'd be more interesting if it was more about Gordon than it would be about Bruce. Is that weird?
No rest for the wicked, eh?
I know how you feel right now.
And I promise you, however dark and scary the world might be right now, there will be light.
She said you had to keep me, huh?
Yes, she did. She said you were a war hero. And your daddy was a big shot DA back in the olden days. So I have to keep my trap shut and do as I'm told.
Ouch.
Okay, soldier boy. Let's go rouse some muggers. Lackadaisical.
Guess what this is?
Just tell me, Ed. I want riddles, I'll read the funny pages.
Oh my god. So we're gonna be on the nose with all this
300
stuff.
grain copper nickel wad cutter. Came out of Thomas Wayne's chest.
I don't know if this is cool or...
And nobody on the
Jeez.
street knows who he is.
So this is more than just a simple random mugger shoots the Waynes. Interesting.
Hey, Oswald. You want to turn?
Oswald Cobblepot.
Knock yourself out, kid.
I'm assuming.
Oswald, whoa. Yeah, take it easy, penguin.
You know I don't like to be called that.
I like Harvey, Gordon. The team up there, the way they contrast each other is going to be interesting. It's an interesting buddy cop show, even though they're not buddies. Not sure how I feel about all the in-your-face, oh, Edward Nygma's working there, and he talks in riddles, and then they call him the Penguin out of nowhere. I think the problem I have with this show right now, and it's not a big problem, it's just the fact everyone talks as if everybody knows what the future's going to be. You know what I mean? Like, everyone just assumes we know already how this is all going to turn out. They don't talk like normal people. Like, when I'm future Mrs. Gordon, I don't like to be called Penguin. I'm the analyst guy that talks in riddles. It's just so forced.
What's your name?
Ivy.
Ivy.
Oh no.
Is Daddy home? Where were you last Saturday night around?
There's plants
Sure,
everywhere.
My family.
I assume everything gets a lot less in your
And
face
I
going
guess you don't
forward,
mind
right?
the,
Thanks.
That was all unnecessary.
Mario Pepper was framed by Fish Mooney and the cops. I saw Ms. Mooney with Martha Wayne's necklace. She was discussing how to get it into Pepper's home inside a bag of drugs.
That makes
This
more
was shortly
sense.
after she met with Detectives Bullock and Gordon from the Homicide Squad.
CPD framed Mario Pepper for the murder of the Waynes.
What?
They framed and killed an innocent man.
And you're here to tell me that James was in on this?
Yes.
And what's your proof?
I can't tell you, but it's the truth.
Well, then
Gordon
fuck off
is
then.
not a good guy. He deserved better.
What? Who are
He's
you?
the most honest man I've ever met.
Montoya!
Everything moves too fast. Like, I'm just... I don't know. I don't really like this.
What's your
Not
evidence
not
that Pepper
not the
was
show.
framed?
I don't like
was
this
wrong to
story.
reveal that info.
Had to solve the case. They solved it. They realized it's fabricated.
If Pepper
Trying
was
to blame
framed,
James
I'll
Gordon.
find out.
James
Hey,
confronts her. Now
you
she's
got a
like, I
problem
shouldn't
with
have
Gordon?
told you. Now it's just like,
And
I
then
don't know.
you?
It just seems like a
And
lot of
you.
back and forth.
shiny shoes. Just suppose for a moment. Just suppose Pepper was innocent. I killed him.
We killed him.
We killed him. We'd lose our jobs at the very least.
They would lose their jobs for killing someone because they were acting in self-defense because the dude was wielding a knife like a maniac trying to
Tell
kill
Mooney I'm
a
here.
detective.
May I ask why?
No.
Ran
No. Yes.
from questions.
James
wow.
Gordon.
Okay.
How nice.
Hey, Butch! Harvey. Who told you we'd be here?
Everybody knows this is where you take your problems. That's my partner you got there.
Ex-partner.
I'm not afraid of death. So much as I am of dying. I want to die. My father died.
Listen, you gotta let my boy go. Hmm? You kill my partner, I gotta come after you. I don't want to do it, but how am I gonna look? You kill my partner, I don't make a move.
All right. Well, you have to promise me that you'll keep him under control. But put you on, please.
Kill him anyway.
That son of a bitch just threatened me. You hang him up with his partner.
Got it.
Why doesn't he just poison her?
Give me a moment, darling. I haven't forgotten about you. I like you. You're funny.
I hope that's not the
Now,
Joker.
this amateur nonsense is a good sign. Why would you betray your mother?
I don't know what you mean.
It was you.
Everything's being
You snitched.
asked
to
and
the
answered
MC.
in the same episode.
You
I
know
don't
how
know.
I know? Because only you saw me with the pearls. No one else. Prove your loyalty, my little penguin.
Please, Miss Mooney. Please don't.
Blood doesn't lie. I know that when you leave here, you'll do the right thing.
I will. I'll tell what I know.
Which is what?
I know that you own the police department. Probably the mayor, too. And I was pretty sure that you had the Waynes killed. But if you did, you wouldn't risk letting me live, would you? Then again, how did Fish Mooney come to have Martha Wayne's necklace?
Who knows who killed the Waynes? Some lowlife. We needed a culprit before the funeral. Pepper was sacrificed so that the people of Gotham would see swift justice done, so they can feel safe and secure.
This is the fool that snitched to Montoya and Allen. Falcone wants you to walk him to the end of that pier and put a bullet in his head. Then everybody knows you're with the program. Come on, you've killed people before.
That was war.
This is war. We're at war with scumbags like him. Sometimes in war you gotta do a bad thing to do good, right? So do you do this bad thing, or do you die and then your girl dies?
Is he gonna fake his death and Penguin's gonna grow up in the sewers and stuff? I actually would be down for that. Kind of interweave Tim Burton's version of Penguin into this. I kinda like Tim Burton's version of Batman.
Don't ever come back to Gotham.
You're gonna regret that.
Why were you up on the roof?
I'm learning to conquer fear.
Okay.
Fear doesn't need conquering.
Did you really have to do that? So that was season 1, episode 1 of Gotham pilot, first episode of our pilot program, pilot project. Pros and cons. Pros, it was more interesting than I thought it would be. I was actually kind of afraid it was going to be more focused on Bruce, which I really didn't want to see because he only really becomes interesting once he grows up and starts training, right? So as a kid, as him on the side, that's fine. He's dealing with his own stuff on the side. And plus, besides, Christopher Nolan already did all that stuff really well. I was actually kind of nervous going into this, wondering if they're going to handle certain situations as well as Christopher Nolan did or how well Tim Burton did. It looks like a mixture of both Burton and Nolan, by also having its own different style. It's a little too in your face. I wasn't a fan of the villains already be integrated in society at this point. Selina's already doing her thing. Penguin's already what else? The Riddler's the thing, he talks in riddles. Who else saw the stand-up comedians, probably Joker. I don't know. Oh, we saw Poison Ivy. It just feels like a very think tank committee type of assembly of a product. Like someone at Fox said, let's do a Batman show. and I feel like they had something else in mind, and the studios, like, and the executives were like, yeah, but this is a Batman show, and we kind of want this to be popular, so throw in some villains. It's like, well, we already have the Penguin. He's like kind of our villain right now. It's like, no, we need the Joker. Well, but the Penguin, he kind of has this little arc, and no, throw in the Joker. Give us Riddler, Poison Ivy, stuff that people know. That was not gonna lie. Just seeing all those people kind of pop up, already doing their shtick, was kind of annoying. But I will say, Jim Gordon and Harvey Bullock, their storyline is interesting. I like the direction that's going. It is a bit in your face at times, kind of, and when it is, it's super annoying. But I guess if you're not a fan of the comics and you don't know these character traits or don't know these hints, then it wouldn't be as annoying, I'm sure. But I feel like Batman's way too popular of a character, and his rogue gallery is way too popular of an ensemble to not pick up on these things. And I don't know if that's just me being personally annoyed by this, or if others have found similar, I don't want to say they're problems, but similar things to kind of pick at. It's like, did they really need that? Like at the end, we know Penguin's a psycho, but did he really need to kill the old man for that sandwich? Why couldn't he have just stolen the sandwich? Why do we have to go that far and show him being a psycho? Why? I mean, it just felt unnecessary. Like, we get it. We already saw him beat that guy with a bat. I guess that's one of the things I kind of want to touch upon too, is I feel like they're gonna go too far sometimes when they don't need to. And I don't want to say this episode was overkill, but they definitely gave you too much, to the point where it felt like it didn't feel like a natural story. It just felt like people spouting words, like the conversation we first have with between Bullock and Gordon. Bullock was told by his superior to go take Gordon out, and they had this little mini exchange. But then when he comes out, and Gordon's like, "Huh, you have to take me, don't you?" He's like, "Well, exposition. Your dad was an impressive DA in his time, and you're a war hero, and blah blah blah." And I'm like, oh my god, all this useless information. I mean, it's not useless, but I'm just like, all this information we don't need to know right now. They're just throwing at you, so they're like, okay, we got that out of the way. We already told the audience his backstory. But it just didn't feel real. It didn't feel natural. It just felt, okay, they told us, just so they can say that they told us. It just didn't feel right. Like the stuff at the beginning, Catwoman stealing the milk. I mean, I get you're supposed to show her as a little thief, but it was just so in your face. The fact that she cuts this lady's grocery bag just to steal the milk, and there's only like a little bit of milk left. It just felt... But that being said, it was a lot better than I thought it was, and I would like to give this another chance. So hopefully, if this episode picks up enough steam on YouTube, I might check out episode 2. So it will remain on the list, and next time we might check out something else, unless this somehow gets, I don't know, we'll say, if this video gets over 300 views or so, we'll go on to episode 2. But until then, we will check out the next pilot, which I'm not sure. I don't want to put it up to a vote, but I mean, this is just kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, next time I might want to check out something, I don't know, I don't want to stick to one genre either. I mean, we've done superheroes. I'm doing something dark, mysterious right now. What else can I do? What's here? Should I do something sad, something funny, something romantic? I don't know. Guess we'll find out. So stick around for the pilot project episode 2, and we'll find out what we're watching next time. Alright guys, have a good one. Like, comment, subscribe, share as well, and see you next time.